Yo, what up everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian Satan here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 491. And who the fuck did Luffy's destroy, like, the life? Like, this giant knight in armor says, I'm going to destroy the pirate who ruined my life. And the only thing that I can think of is this person Arlong? And the only reason why I'm saying that is Luffy did put a number on him, and this Hachi is likely the same Hachi. I know this is the same Hachi from Arlong Park, which I'm going to be so stoked if he comes back, because if you've been following this channel for a very long time, you know Arlong Park is, as of right now, it's still my favorite arc. Like, I love it. I highly recommend that arc to anyone. Like, when I talk to people about One Piece and there are people who've never checked out One Piece. Hell, I'm proof of it. But I highly recommend that to people who, they're on the edge about One Piece. They say it's too cartoony. I say, just skip all the bullshit, go to Arlong Park, and I guarantee you're going to want to go back and check out how we got to this point. This arc is so epic. And this is what I love about the fact. Zoro recalls, like, hell yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that guy, that idiot. And yet, when you look at Camie, the fish, the thing she keeps saying, the mermaid, she says, well, he's a kind guy and he runs the octopus fritter shop, and it seems like he's got like a sense of morality and a backbone now, and it's just showing time has moved on. You know, Luffy was like, I'm really glad, a few chapters ago, he's like, I'm really glad that we didn't lose anybody to get to this point. And Zoro says we've matured so much, and yet one of the things he and Sanji say is, if it is that Hachi guy from Arlong Park, we're not saving him. And yet they're going to have to, because Camie's going to teach them how to get down to Fishman Island. I mean, this is cool, but my thing is who is this Master, this Master Duval? Who is this guy? What's this connection to Luffy? What's this connection to pirates, period? And I know Oda's going to kind of bring this up later, but the other thing that I noticed was these three guys who are attacking the Straw Hats on these flying machines, and it makes me wonder if some possible way that they managed to get these from Skypiea is this technology from Skypiea, and also did they manage to replicate what we saw from Skypiea, because we're seeing, like, the deeper we go into the Grand Line, we're seeing the actual dials be used, and this would be really cool. But Luffy and the others are under attack right now, and speaking of Luffy, you know, Oda, in typical fashion, hard hand, soft hand. He gives you the humor. Luffy's telling Camie, like, oh shit, you can call the fish. Join my crew and we can eat all the fish in the world. And Sanji's like, you fucking idiot. Be considerate. And it's so funny because we have so many moments like this where Luffy can ask a mermaid anything. He says, do you poop? And Sanji's like, oh my god, she doesn't poop. And Sanji wasn't listening because she said, well, I can, but she didn't get to finish. So maybe she's going to say, I can, I cannot, I can't. You never know where that one's going. But Luffy asked something as juvenile as that. And then Luffy's like, wow, Kokoro was a mermaid? Holy shit, she wasn't very pretty. Nami smacks him in the head saying, show some tact, be considerate. And when Zoro sees Camie, one of the things he says, I've never seen a mermaid before. And you see Zoro reminds me of one of my boys, KJ, man. What Zoro does is he just erases Kokoro from his memory. And Chopper basically breaks all the rules and says, wait a second, you're just trying to forget she even existed. It's like Kokoro is such a funny character to me, because Oda is completely poking fun at the fact she's not very attractive. And he used her to troll us, because you got Sanji barfing at the memory of Kokoro, and it's just like, it's so fucking hilarious that this is going on, man. It's so hilarious. I love this. On one hand, you could say Oda is probably, you know, poking fun at women and making them objectified, but at the same time, Oda just confirmed in one of the SP corners that Nami was stripped naked while she was asleep, which means, you know, somebody could have got the Bill Cosby on her and she wouldn't even known it. And even with Khalifa, you know, Khalifa hid her key down there and Nami had to strip off her clothes to get it. So, I mean, oh, this isn't beyond Oda. This is some very crude humor, but I love it. I absolutely love it. But what really interests me is with Hachi I can't remember when. I want to say this was Alabasta that we saw Hachi having the underwater adventures, and I gotta go back. Like I said, like you guys know, I don't really cover the cover stories unless I find them interesting. And in one case, I didn't talk about this one. I thought was pretty cool, but you got like what's happening at Water 7, you see being rebuilt, and you got this chick with some really long legs, and it's making me wonder, is Iceberg gay? Because, you know, Khalifa, you know, hired her, and, you know, she was doing whatever, you know, she was with Rob Lucci's gang. However, the thing that's getting me is, you know, she's in very, you know, skimpy clothing. This guy's just like, oh, what the fuck is this bitch doing? Like, is this dude gay? Because I know for me, I'd be like, all right, y'all can go. You're hired, baby. You're hired. Like, this is so interesting, the fact that Oda's bringing in these stories, which gives me hope. Is Inryu, is Enel going to show back up? Is he going to have that little moon army with like little puppets and shit? And speaking of like puppets, okay? Like little teddy bears, all cute and cuddly and shit. But we have like the talking starfish who, it just breaks all logic. He says, I thought I was a little kid, so I taught myself how to talk. And by the time I found out that I was actually a starfish, I was already speaking. And he's playing music, he's designing stuff, he's, you know, moping because nobody's paying attention to him. Little small stuff like that. I mean, it's Oda animal fetish. And I mean, again, that sounds really perverted when I say animal fetish, but it is what it is. Oda has this infatuation with animals, starfish is an animal, so I mean, that was pretty cool. And it's like he's getting the best of both worlds. But what I really want to talk about is this idea that people get traded and mermaids are a hot commodity down on Fishman Island. So maybe that's why Oda decided not to have the Straw Hats just go there immediately, because they're probably dealing with some really powerful people. And Oda might be touching on something really key, which is human trafficking, because Oda has not backed away from controversial stuff. Like, he dabbled in religious stuff in Skypiea. He's been talking politics and corruption of history and just little small stuff. Like, Oda has been touching on some serious shit as One Piece has gone on. So what this tells me is, say this chapter, because I know One Piece started in 97, so it means it probably picked up serialization like 98, like mid to late 98, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, manga chapters, they come out, and or new series, they come out, they test the water, and they say, okay, it'll be back a few issues from now, serialized. And so what that tells me is One Piece at this point, if it's not the most popular manga series in Japan, it's one of the most popular. So now he's getting the wiggle room to talk about shit that he wants to talk about. Like, for instance, for as big as Naruto was, because Naruto was not as big in Japan as it was worldwide, Shueisha was able to kind of put the clamps on what Kishimoto was able to do. One second. Shueisha was able to put the clamps on what Kishimoto was able to do. He wasn't able to fully explore the Naruto world in the way that he wanted to. And I remember this interview, I want to say this was 2014, right after Naruto ended, and he was talking about things that he would have done. I want to say it's the same thing that, or the same interview he had with Ichiro Oda, where Oda was saying, as big as One Piece is, he would really love it if One Piece was as big as Naruto is worldwide, because obviously extra money and visibility. But the other thing is, it's like they have this jealousy of each other, but at the same time they're talking about how when one chapter came out, they would push themselves because Oda did this or Kishimoto did this. And so I know, like, around chapter 400 of One Piece, Naruto should have been dealing in some very philosophical stuff at the same time. So that's key. That's showing that, like, their rivalry is kind of there. But I gotta admit, like, depending on how Oda executes this, this puts them on some Togashi level stuff. Because Togashi touches on some really serious shit in both Hunter x Hunter and in Yu Yu Hakusho, when you read in between the lines of the themes and the social constructs of this. So I'm really interested to see, are we going to see some type of auction or something where we see people auction off? And I hate seeing this, but more than likely we're going to have Nami get captured and probably put in a situation like this, because it seems like Nami's being put in that damsel in distress thing, but she does have some fight in her, so that's pretty cool to see that. But my chapter question to you guys is, out of everything we covered in One Piece so far, what do you think was the biggest arc where Oda touched on, you know, different messages and themes in terms of like religion and government? Like, which one did you enjoy the most? I'd say probably Skypiea edges it out for me. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.